Hello, welcome for another Tiny Things to Draw update. This first one is smoke in the distance. My idea for this one was smoke coming up from behind trees in front of the moon, like a forest fire idea, which is sad, but it works for the prompt. I sketched it out with a pencil and then I started outlining in Micron, and I actually used a couple different sizes of Microns. So the trees that are closer to the audience, I did in a thicker Micron, and then the ones that are far away slowly get thinner and thinner outlined. When that was all outlined, I put down a layer of graphite. I made the sky darker than the trees, also using graphite, and I tried to leave a little perimeter around the moon as a halo from the light, and then coming in with still graphite, making the smoke lines a little bit darker than they were before. The smoke lines are just little squiggles. I don't really know if it looks like smoke. I have such a hard time drawing and painting clouds and smoke and the like, but whether or not it actually looks like smoke, I do like the pattern of these little smoky squiggles. Using an orange colored pencil, I'm adding a little bit of color around the base of the smoke. I wanted that to be like that glow, that haze from fire in the distance. I called that done. Now moving on to a school of minnows. These little swirl lines are just direction lines, so I know where to place these little fish shapes. I knew trying to draw detailed legit fish would be far too difficult for something this small, so instead I'm doing suggestive shapes by just making these little tiny ovals they were supposed to be a bit pointed at the end, but it didn't really work out that way. When that was all done being outlined in Pilot Pen, I took a colored pencil and colored in the whole thing, and then after that I took a darker blue to fill in all the little ovals so it'll look like fish shadows, not just random outlines. That was very tedious and took quite a bit of time. Here's the smoke and the minnows all done. Our next doodle is the crest of a wave. This one was a lot of fun to draw. As usual, sketching out in graphite with the mechanical pencil, just trying to get that shape correct. Then outlining the darker parts in blue Pilot Pens and the lighter parts in a seafoam green Japanese pen. After outlining, I put down a very light layer of blue and I avoided the areas where the wave would be crashing because that's where the white foamy stuff is. And I wanted to leave that white. And from here on out, I was going in with a bunch of different shades of blue and green colored pencil to get all those shading and highlights. I did have a reference photo with me off to the side, so I was looking back at that a lot because water is difficult. Here it is finished, and I think it came out pretty dang good. Next up, we have a doll shoe, but I will not be drawing any doll shoe, okay? This is going to be a specific doll shoe from a specific doll character, but I'm not gonna tell you who. You're gonna have to guess. It should be pretty obvious if you know the doll line. The only hint I'm gonna give you is the slogan, "Be yourself, be unique." If you think you know whose doll shoe I am drawing, please tell me in the comments. This is just a little sketching process. Those weird pointed oval shapes at the top of the shoe, those will be leaves, and I tried to angle them down to make it angry eyes, angry face, because you got the teeth at the bottom, so you need eyes. I started outlining everything in colored gel pen using pink and green. It turned out being a lot more green than pink. Now using colored pencils to color everything in, again using pink and green. This entire character is pink and green pretty much. I did give this shoe a little bit more detail than the actual doll shoe has, the real life doll shoe, because I don't like things to be plain and boring. Now, I am not dissing this doll line. They are highly detailed and very pretty, but some of the small details do get lost because they're not shaded, they're not colored in, something along those lines. And I am not letting that happen in my drawing, so here you see me shading with graphite. And for the background, I'm just adding some very simple vines and flowers with the same colored pencils and gel pens, and here we have it all complete. I think it came out really cute. Moving on, we have a spark, and I decided to go the more abstract route. My thought process was you fall in love, you feel the sparks, so I decided to draw a little heart with some sparks. This is done in the same gel pens and colored pencils that I used for the doll shoe. This one came out very cartoony. Honestly, I could see it as a t-shirt design, especially a t-shirt design for little kids. I think it's cute. I'd wear this on a t-shirt. Ooh, or a patch, or a sticker, or a pin. Yes. I decided to use purple as a shade because I thought gray or black would not fit the vibes. For the background, I just filled in gray, made it dark around the edges, and then I thought gray didn't look right, so I went over it in purple, so it's like a purple gray. And here it is, all complete. The next one is a dollhouse kitchen. Now this prompt actually showed up much earlier in the book, but I've been putting this off for so long because I don't really know what to do with it. I'm making this very colorful. That's what I've decided. I outlined it in pink gel pen because I thought colorful outline would be fitting for a kid's toy. However, I did use a straight edge. I used the edge of my paper to get straight lines, and I still fucked up and have wonky lines. For the color scheme, I'm using mostly pastel blue and pink with a little bit of orange and yellow as an accent color. I thought this color scheme would be good for a Barbie house dollhouse, and I thought it would be eye-catching for little kids. I ended up not shading this one because I wanted it to look like flat plastic or like flat stickers, because you know, in dollhouses, not everything is a 3D object. Sometimes it's just a fucking sticker. All right, would you buy this dollhouse for your kids to play with? Next up, we have an eyelash, but it ended up being the entire eye because drawing a single eyelash is difficult, and I tried to do like a close-up on the eyelashes, but that didn't work. It just ended up being the entire eye, so here we have an eye. I'm using Microns to outline. I think I'm using a size 5 or 8 for like the eyelid, and then a size 2 for the iris, and then a size 0.5 for the eyelashes. Getting some line weight variety. Coloring in with Artist Loft colored pencils, and I'm making the skin a reddish orange because I can. Colors are fun. I put down the shadows first, then colored in the base color. Eye whites are not actually stark white, they're usually more of a blue-gray, so I'm using gray to shade them, and then I filled in the rest with a very light blue. And I'm coloring in the iris with purple because I thought all these colors look good together. Now I'm adding some detail lines in the iris with blue and purple gel pens to make it a little bit more interesting. Now I'm drawing an accordion button, but I didn't do a single button. I did like a couple rows of buttons, which was rather hard to draw because there's so many lines on this. At least with the reference photo that I was using, there was a lot of alternating black and white lines. I mean, it looks cool, but it was hard to draw. Here I am just blocking out the highlight on each button, and then I'm covering the entire thing over in a layer of graphite and blending that out with my finger. I have been doing that for quite a few drawings recently. Now I'm erasing the graphite from those blocked out highlights. And this is what I was talking about for the dollhouse kitchen clip, using the edge of the paper to get a straight line for outlining. It didn't really work in the dollhouse, but it worked out fine for this one, so I mean, yay, I guess. Anyway, outlining in Micron. And using more Micron to color in. This is all gonna be black and white, or rather black and gray. So I figured just stick with Micron, it's easier than colored pencil. I'm coloring in very scribbly because I think it looks cool. I did use gray colored pencil to color in the what would be white buttons, but I didn't want the white buttons to blend in with the white background, so I used a bit of gray colored pencil and then darkened them even more with gray graphite, and here it is, it's all done. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check the description box to find my link tree where you can see more of me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!